In today's video, we're going to be using Cray Pas, and then we're going to smear them together with baby oil and some little Q-tips. And you're going to need some sturdy paper. I'm just using watercolor paper, but it's a heavier stock than just computer paper or something like that. So today we're going to take a virtual trip to New Orleans, and we're going to start out using these Cray Pas, which are a lot like crayons, but they're actually oil-based. They're good for mixing and blending. So I can mix several colors together. We're gonna try a thing today, and it's fun for kids too, so I'm probably gonna let my kids try it out later on, where you take baby oil and Q-tips and smudge the Cray Pas together. So right now I'm just using some lighter colors to get my basic design in here. And you can follow along, or you can look up your own picture on Pinterest or Google of downtown New Orleans, the French Quarter. And even though sometimes the colors may not appear all that vibrant, well, they're usually pretty vibrant down there, you can enhance them with your Cray Pas. Here we have a lantern, so I'm just looking at the basic shapes here. And I'm gonna put in what I see. Basically, we have a point over here, so this is 1 point perspective, and so we're going to make all our lines join to that point. You can use your finger to blend, or a tortillon, or even a paper towel. I like using a paper towel the best. And by putting lights and darks together, you can mix in where some of the shading will be. So that will be helpful in giving your page a little more dimension. Different shades of blue and green. There's some plants up here, so I'm just going to give the illusion of some planters and some plant boxes, some wild little stuff sticking out here. So these are kind of wrapping around the edge here of this curve, and again the curve goes to my 1 point right down here. I'm just coloring in some hanging plants down here. Not too much detail, just a little hint of what's happening. After you blend the different greens for the hanging plants, you could come back and add some color to them with some pops of red or purple or yellow, whatever you like, in case you want flowers. But I would recommend blending everything first and then bringing those other colors in. That would work best. There's my point. Checking the perspective here. So now I'm going to just smudge a little bit right here. And this is before I add the oil. I'm just smudging the colors together a little bit. Creates an excellent blend here. Covering the white spots in between. And I'm leaving spaces for some of the black and the wrought iron and brick and things that I'm going to be bringing in here in a little bit. This is a little bit of a balcony, and so I'm using some colors to reflect what's down here in the building, up in the undercarriage of the balcony. We can go ahead and add some light greens to our plants. Kind of vary the texture here a little bit by making the lines a little bit straggly. You can blend in different directions. You can go up and down with the flow of the plant, or you can bring it down, around and around, however you feel like blending those colors. After laying down some of the basic colors, I'm just going to go back and smudge some things together. And then I will create more detail with some of the blacks and different highlights. I'm going to add a street lamp and a bicycle also. So that's why this area is a little bit basic right now. Also, the wrought iron will be coming in. So I've just kind of put down some grays under where the wrought iron will be. This is a bit of a loose style, but you just want to keep an eye on where the shapes are and kind of in relation to the other shapes and the other doors, where everything needs to be. New Orleans and a lot of cities are known for the haint blue that goes under their eaves to keep the ghosts away and the spirits away. So I've added that right through here. And then again, it's going to pick up some of the colors from the building below, which is why it kind of gets to more of a yellow tone down at this end. You can use several tones in your brick. I have some brick here, and it has kind of a light patch going on here, so we'll put some orange there. And then up by the eaves, it's got a little bit darker going on under here where there's a shadow. And you can just give the illusion of bricks with some cross-hatching marks. It's where you make your lines in one direction and then go across them in another direction.
Hi, I'm using Cray Pas to make a king cake today. Today I'm drawing a saxophone because we are doing objects inspired by New Orleans. Now I'm smudging the colors around.
And you're staying in the lines and in the same area, right? With the same colors?
Yes.
Because they'll blend into other colors, won't they?
I'm working on king cake.
Oh. And yours is going to be a very colorful king cake, it looks like. Do you want to tell me about it? Did you smudge any yet?
Yeah, I smudged this one and this one. I smudged this one and this one.
Yes. That's very good.
So now I'm smudging this one. Okay.
Pretty cool. Have you smudged any yet?
No.
Smudging.
Some more little pinks. Did it. In my background, you can barely see the pink because it's going on like a really dark color.
Yeah. That should smudge pretty well since you're putting several layers on it.
Now I'm adding contrast to make the saxophone pop out at you more.
Good job. Okay, let's see. Does it feel good?
Yeah. Hey Claire, can you hand me that red next to you? This one?
Is that purple?
Yeah. Inches. Whoa, that's a lot.
Ooh, that's a good effect, isn't it? Ooh, that's pretty.
Come on.
I'm almost finished with this working with the oil on this. And so I'm just going to put it in a couple more areas. I'm going after the wrought iron now. And sometimes it's nice to leave a couple of the detailed lines without the smudgy oil, even though it provides such a cool effect. Sometimes you can see the detail if you just leave a little bit. So I'm going to kind of leave these details up here. I'll smudge this a little, but I'm going to leave a lot of that. Maybe I'll leave a little here and there just to add some different textures to this. And smudge my planters a little bit. The Q-tip is picking up the pigment as I go, so wherever I touch down next, it will transplant that to the area. Using oils on the Cray Pas, so there's no paint involved, but it kind of just gives it an oil painted effect. It does take a pretty good bit of Q-tips. I'd say I've probably used about 10 or 15 so far. You should stick with the same color families on your Q-tips, since the colors do move and smear to other areas if you use a dirty one. So for instance, I just was working in light blue and now I'm up here in an area that has some dark blue, and that's fine if it mixes in. But I wouldn't want to put my black in that area. As you can see here, I can put a little black down here in this section by just using what I had pulled from another section. I hope you post any pictures that you try out with this medium, with using Cray Pas and baby oil. I would love to see some of the different designs others come up with. Whether it's New Orleans or a different place or a different kind of scene. That would be fun. always sign your picture. Thanks for stopping by Studio 77 today. I hope you'll like and subscribe and share this with your friends. And I hope you enjoyed our virtual tour to New Orleans today.